So this is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Y'all, that's what dope living means. It's good living, all right? Y'all figure it out, all right? Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates, all right? Having said that, man, we're going to have a great show today, all right? I did some Donald Trump stuff, didn't I? Look at that. We're going to have a great show today, all right? We have, and if you're hungry, man, I'm sorry we don't have food for you, but we can tell you about it. Tell you about this creative genius, man. They call him the Legacy Chef. His name is Mr. Vincent Moore. He's right here with us tonight. Mo, I couldn't get the food here, dude.
What?
I couldn't get it here, man.
Man, you couldn't get the food here.
Yeah, and it's not the guest's fault. It's my fault, okay? But you down south. You in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this guy, he creates Southern culinary. These are words that I picked up out there. Southern culinary delights. All right. And they are newly inspired food recipes. He think about this. We were talking about the show.
I remember back in the day, I used to know some females that was some Southern culinary delights.
Hey man, that's a different show, dude. What? But I want to find out how he does it because as I was reading, you know, he makes the food, and I guess, you know, like when we did the cigar show, you drink you smoke a certain cigar with a certain wine and this and that. Well, he does crafted drinks with certain foods, and I just want to find out about him, man. And let's just not hesitate anymore. Okay, everybody say what's up to my man, the Legacy Chef, Mr. Vincent Moore.
What's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
Good, bro. Good.
We are.
Brother over here had me cracking up.
We are. Right. There's
a lot of love with food.
Yes. And you know, when you mention food, especially to us, be like, "Where's that, man? Is it free?"
Right.
Yeah.
Vincent he don't work for free. He's the Legacy Chef.
No, but I do some friendly free.
Friendly free.
If you're a friend, you know, I always got a friend. I'll drop something down for you.
Every now and then we share with the friends. See, I'm a poet too, don't you know it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Vincent, man. We appreciate you giving us the time.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that y'all don't do it for free. In the beginning, it was such a passion. I was just doing what I was doing, having friends over. They actually came to me and said, "You can't do this for free." And here's some money. Here's some money. And
whoa,
and
really?
all that. And it's no, you got to set up an account. You got to do these different things to get this done. So literally through that kind of was a little bit of a plan of a seed later in the beginning as I became the Legacy Chef and actually start doing these things, and the cost and all that stuff came with it, and where people knew where that cost went. It wasn't just I was living off of it. It was, hey, this is going to local charity things. These are going towards community supporting, you know, some of the kids that I talk with. It's also just the materials and things themselves. and being able to help and work through different programs with some of these wineries and breweries and all the other stuff. So it's a more of a collaborative effort. And, you know, that grew into where, you know, hey, this turned out to be a nice little business venture along with my passion. So there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody out there, if you are a chef or you cook, you want to have the matching of both those. So let's get to it, because I know you want to know about the food and how I created it.
I'm gonna get to the food, but we want to let's keep it back there. Let's keep it back.
Let's keep it back. Okay.
So, I mean, you know, you started this started cooking young, right?
Oh, I didn't have a choice. Just so y'all don't, I'm gonna update y'all. See the picture behind me? That's a Nolans picture. So my legacy is from Nolans. We say Nolans, and for everybody that's a New Orleans. But I grew up in, well, little did I know, family of chefs. So it's a legacy for a long time, all the way back to slavery time, all the way through. So it evolved into my grandfather being the #1 chef in New Orleans. And back in the day, in those 5-star restaurants and stuff, they had these major parties, and they said, we want the best food ever. So they would sneak him in the back. He would do his thing, create everything up, and then that chef would get the credit. And they take the credit. They pay him, and then he goes out the back door. And
the usual, right?
That's kind of how things were. And then those chefs learned from those unsung chefs that didn't go to culinary school, but had all the creativity that could make things up and do things on a drop of a hat. And so that was what I grew up with. My mother was the one who, family of 11 kids, and cooking for my grandfather. She's the one that took the mantle, and basically the creativity went with her. And then, of course, my dad and her got hooked up, and I came along, and the rest of the kids, and then all of us were taught, whether we knew it or not, how to do all these different things. We didn't know, but that's my story. So I started at 5 years old.
Wow.
Dang.
5 years old. And Mom's like, oh no, hey, you know, you can look, you can see above the counter right there, you can do this. So a little table off to the side, and she had me off to the side doing stuff with knives. I don't recommend that nowadays, but back then, it's like with adult supervision, I guess that's all right. But she was right there. I was right there in the kitchen learning how to chop up things, how to prep things, how to cook things, and watching her, how she did certain things. And she would ask me, well, you know, what did I do wrong here? I said, well, you know, I had to be paying attention. So that was kind of all the things that started for me as a small kid. And then the friends that would come over, my mom would cook different stuff. And then I was learning how to cook things. One of the things that was our star thing in our family was you had to cook on a Sunday, and your name got picked in the hat. And so if you cooked well and you did something great, you were the king of the thing for the whole month. If not, or queen. If not, you got talked about for that whole month.
Wow.
What you should have did and what you needed to do. So it was a fun family relationship connection with food, was where I started. It wasn't really like, okay, it's about how the food tasted, and that. It was more about how I was there to help and please the family. And then that extended, that was the seed that was planted in me as a small kid. Of course, there's music in the background. My mom would go and leave me in the kitchen, go to her piano, and she'd just do her thing, because she played piano for the church, and then she would just be playing all the other stuff with, you name it, jazz, blues, whatever she played, whatever she felt she wanted to play, while I would be in the kitchen on my turn doing what I needed to do. So see how the music came in with the food.
Yeah.
So y'all got genetic careers built in genetically.
Yes.
So, and you can't go wrong with food, you know.
So that's a little bit of the undertone from my story, and then how that transitions over to how I was able to actually create the foods. My mom had a thing. What's that?
Hold on.
What's that?
We still back there, all right? So
Okay.
so we're getting all of this in, all right?
All right, we gonna get all the juice.
We're gonna get it all in, okay? Then Mo, you know how it's gonna go. You know, we'll be talking about all this great creations that he does, and then we're gonna go get us a burger. But because we don't have
We
it.
gonna go get a burger. I'm not gonna get no burger.
Was it? I mean, so it was like a friendly competition in your house, basically all the time. Or was it
actually started off as punishment?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
None of us wanted to cook.
That sounds like some Joe Jackson stuff.
Yeah, so
get up there and dance, boy.
Yeah, you know how it goes. There was two things. My mom loved those soap operas, those daytime soap operas. I'm not going to say the names, but those daytime soap operas, and it was either that, of course, or back then the whooping, or you come in and help me in the kitchen to cook. Those three things. So those were the three choices that we had. And I already tried the other two because I said I'll just take the whooping, Mom. I'll take this. And
I'll take the beating.
it's like, you know what? So I did the kitchen, and I actually liked it. I said, oh, this is nice, but okay, I can't tell my mom that I like this, because if I like, that's not a punishment.
That's not a punishment. There you go.
So therefore, whenever she said which one, I said I had to whatever it was, as long as it's not in the kitchen, Mom. And she's like, that's the one right there. You're coming with me right now. I'm like, oh no.
That's kind of
turn her back, and I'm like,
Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson read first psychology.
I'm thinking about this, Mo. That's funny because I think we're all in around the same age group, man. And we got whippings, okay? But I wonder what would have happened if I told my mom I like the whippings. I wouldn't be here today.
You didn't want a chance there because you would have been passing out every time you got a chance. I like the whipping. You woke up 2 weeks later.
I would not be here today, man. That's fantastic. So because people normally associate cooking with the women, all right?
Yeah.
And you know, as a young boy growing up, did you get any backlash, any teasing or anything?
Oh, well, yeah, I did get some because I was I was also in sports too, even as a young kid. So I kind of got a little bit of a pass because if anybody said anything to me, I said, okay, wait till we get on the football field.
Yeah, wait till we get on the football field. Forget that. Wait till I cook this daggone, gumbo up tomorrow. You ain't gonna get none.
Well, first it was that, but I was so focused on that I was just happy because at that during those times, the most of the people that were cooking were the girls.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned, right, little kids and women. I liked the little girls when I was a little kid.
Yes,
so I was like,
well,
you guys can go ahead and do what you do. I'll be here with all these girls.
Go ahead, bang heads.
Look at him,
I got something else on my mind.
I can be surrounded by these little girls, or I can be with you guys. No, I'll be over here. So I would be in that crew, and I would talk about the stuff, about the food and all that, and they're like, oh, he's actually serious. He's actually cooking something. So I did some of that stuff. As a small kid, I cooked the little ovens that they used to have.
Yeah.
You can cook with those little things.
Little easy bake?
Yeah, bake. Well, I forgot what the
Easy
name of
bake.
it is.
Easy bake.
Yeah, easy bakes.
With a little light bulb in it.
Yeah, I was making those cakes and little cupcakes and throwing that stuff in there.
I know that.
No, put some cinnamon in here. Put the clove. You got to mix these with that. And they're like, oh. I said, don't just do what they say.
Bland.
I'm repeating what my mom would say. Don't just copy that. Create something. And that's just a guideline. Just go ahead and create something. So I would make these little things. And so I'd make it. The girls, we started getting pretty good. So we make them, and then we go out on the front of the street. Somebody hook up a nice little lemonade stand with little cupcakes. People drive up and say, oh, would you like to have a cupcake to go along with that lemonade? Oh, yeah. And so, that's how we did it. And so the guys would pull up too, because the girls would be there. And they're like, oh, man, you got to show me how to do this. So help me
can I hang out?
Up, because if I can cook something, then
Right.
maybe little Susie right there, or little whoever is going to
Mhm.
say, take notice of me. So
Right.
that kind of, I'm like, this food thing is kind of cool too.
It got
So
dual purpose.
yep, dual purpose. And that was back in those days where you could, pretty much get a lot of the ingredients and stuff really cheap.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, my stepson gets a lot of his cooking from his great granddad Tribute, and then
all right.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So
And
let's
you even said that you had the little thing in the background. Where are you from?
No, me. I'm Indiana.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a regular. What I say I am. What I say I am, Greg.
I ain't gonna say the word.
No.
Oh, you're an OG, huh?
No, not an OG.
All right.
He's from Gary, Indiana, but he lives in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I was
All
born. I was born in Indianapolis, but raised in Gary. So,
All right. Yeah.
but
I
I've
say
been. I
Texas
left.
up in Gary area.
Yeah, but I left the North probably when I was like 19. I was gone. So,
Okay.
went to Texas. So I've been
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, you went right. You went from there from the Midwest to right to the West.
Super South burnt up. That first year was a mug, boy. I'm telling you. But
So,
I hear
Vince,
that.
let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, because we just got to find out. You have your brand is called Taste the Craft, correct?
Yeah, my brand is Taste the Craft, and that started out with me when I started cooking with the craft beers.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started cooking with the craft beers, and then the wines, because everybody's cooking with wines. I'm like, why could I can? Those are, to me, it's easy to cook with those. With craft beers, they have different types. I looked at craft beer, and people are like, how can you cook with craft beer? So you got to look at craft beer like seasoning.
Okay.
So if you drink one beer and it's bitter,
like a stout,
or you did a stout, stout's going to be more in a sense of like a think of it like a barbecue, kind of a burnt, but just a little bit under burnt but buttery. So like burnt toast with butter. That's kind of the stout. And so that's the flavor that you get in your mouth. So when you get it, you're thinking, oh, that's bitter. But if you really think about it, and you're like, wow, that it isn't burnt. It's more like caramelized, like barbecue style, but with a buttery cream taste.
So that's a whole nother lane right there, man. Especially with all the independents coming up, right?
Yeah. So you have the categories. You've got your IPAs, you've got your lagers, you got your porters, you got your stouts. These are all the different flavors, but they're also the coloring of those as well. And each one of those are like seasonings. So I can cook beer with desserts. I can cook beer make sauces out of them. I can cook lunch style. I can cook I can cook with vegetables. I can do all kinds of things with the craft beer to get the flavoring of how I want, because just think about it, it's the seasoning of each one of those.
Kind of like where some people use wines.
Right? Yeah.
That makes so much sense, man. You know, and you got your own lane with this. You know, who would have thought about that, man? Dang.
Well, it tastes good too, because a lot of wine and other ingredients, they have a natural thing, which is the grapes. But how they process it and what they do, there's a certain type of chemical processing that goes along with that isn't natural. It's man-made in order to do that. And with craft beer, you actually have to cook it in order to make beer. Yeah, you have to heat it, you have to cook it in order to make it, and the ingredients that are in it are all naturally grown. So, and it's simple. It's usually 4 to 5, depends on what you do, and that's it. That every single style, whether it's a light beer or a dark beer, it's just the process and how they do it as far as darkening that style of hops or whatever that they have in there with the malt, that combination with those will bring you that natural color. So it's not something added into it, it's how it's also cooked to be done. And that flavor that in each one of those, when it's added to different styles of recipes, can bring forward those flavors. You can make something taste like barbecue and it has never been put on the grill. Wow. You can make something that tastes very bitter originally and then make it into a lighter version of that and bring out the actual flavor. So you're not getting such a powerful punch of the bitterness, but you're actually getting the actual flavor from that actual, and you don't lose any of the nutrients or vitamins and stuff in it because everything in it is all natural all together. So it's healthier for you, the body, and it tastes better. It tastes better. So
how did you come up with that though?
I just started doing it. I said, I'm gonna start cooking with beer. I looked out there online back as I started in 2017 and really started, creating stuff. And as I was looking, they had the traditional stuff, which you all know, burgers and beer, how people cook with it. They take it and they pour it over top while it's on the grill.
Right.
And I said, no. I said, what about the sauce, the barbecue sauce? What about the actual ingredients, like actually cooking instead of water, use the craft beer?
That is interesting.
And they used to use vinegar and the seasoning.
Yeah, and you don't even need to use vinegar because a lot of the craft beer properties in it will provide along with that. So you get the flavoring with it. So you don't need to put that in. So all those were the kind of things I started with. So the very first thing that was near dear to me was shrimp and grits.
Let's go. My favorite. Let's go. That's one of them.
So I said, let me start out. I'm going to cook some shrimp and grits. And I'm going to make it with a craft beer. So sauteing the shrimp with the craft beer. So which one am I going to use? So at the time, I didn't have a book that said, hey, this is what this is going to taste like. I had all of them lined up and I had the shrimp out and I said, okay, I'll cook it with this one first. I'll cook it with that one next. And that's what I did. I had them all lined up when they were done. And then I went to each one to taste each one to see which one tasted like. Wow. So that was the hard knocks of the research of doing it in the beginning. And then once I understood at that time that, wait a minute, this isn't just me cooking with it, but as I mentioned before, it's finding the right seasoning for it. So I need to know the properties of each one of these beers. And then that way I can, in my mind, say, this is the type of seasoning I would use with that type of seafood, that type of ground beef, that type of pork, that type of chicken, that type of vegetable, that type of, the whole gambit, that type of dessert. And so
you got the taste in your head
first. And that went off like gangbusters. People couldn't get enough of that. And so I did a video because I said, I can't be everywhere all at once. And so I did the video of it just in my kitchen. And a buddy of mine said, hey, you need to charge for that.
At least get a book or something going, a video book.
Because I'm going to be making a whole bunch of them. And I said, well, here's what I'll do. I'll do a library. So I put a bunch of videos up and I said, I guess the word subscribe for, 30 or 90 days. And whatever the videos I post up there, you have access to them all. And you can go ahead and watch them. You get the recipe. You can cook in your own home and do it yourself. And that way it's a guideline for you and you can create that same family connection that food brings along with it. So I'm trying to stay in the back here and not go forward.
No, we're ready to go forward, but that's interesting, man. So once you did it, you said you lined them up and you tasted it and this and that.
Yeah.
Did you know that it would take off?
I had an idea when I the first two that I tasted didn't taste all that good. And I said, oh, okay. So I was more in line. So why is it clashing? And I said, well, that's because of this property in this beer is, I just said a negative. So I said a negative, and I said in this one here that this type of dish is a positive. So they're going to clash, and if it's clashing, it's not going to elevate the flavor. What I need is either two negatives coming together or two positives coming together. And so the positive beer, the positive thing coming together, that elevates both of the flavors, and it really takes it to another. So that's what I was taking notes on. So it was almost kind of a little bit scientific. It wasn't exciting. Everyone says you watch on TV, you see a lot of the things that chefs do, and you see all the flair and all the other things.
Yeah.
But the actual, if you're creating something from scratch, there's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of different things you go through. It can be frustrating. There can be all kinds of things that go wrong. And you just have to have that passion to go move past that. Once you do, then it's no big deal for you. You're able to do it no matter what. So there is a mentality and an attitude that all chefs have that they can fail. You got to be able to fail. If you want to get it perfect the first time, all the time, you probably are not. It's not going to be a creative process for you. You need to be able to just copy what somebody else is doing, and then that way you're going to wind up with a success. So that was the thing I learned through that process. Like, hey, I'm actually a creative chef here. I'm not cooking as a cook. I'm actually creating my own thing. And so that takes it to a whole other level. And there's so many people out there that don't believe that they're chefs. And I'm like, you're a chef. If you're creating, you're a chef.
See, we talked about that creativity before the show started. All right, it's a special person to me that can be creative to do. And we talked about sculpting and art and this and that. But that's you guys have a special talent, all right. And you're creating culinary. What do I want to call it, Maurice? Because I want to put my flair on it. It's culinary excitement.
I like that.
To hit the palate. It hits the palate different.
Yeah.
It hits the palate different, man. So you create. Let's talk about the creativity, man.
Yeah.
What's your process?
One, I gotta have music.
Let's go.
That's the first thing I pop on for me. And it depends. I'll cook with country. I'll cook with blues. I'll cook with jazz. I'll cook with hip hop.
Depends on what's getting into the frying pan,
blues, right? And each one of those that I'm listening to, because I'm also into vinyl records. Some of you may or may not know vinyl records.
I know vinyl. Like the back of my hand.
Hey, I don't have the 8 tracks no more, but
come on,
vinyl records. I have a whole collection of those. So I listen to the albums because there's something about that vinyl that when it comes through, it resonates more for me personally. So I'll listen to the old tunes the things I got that were handed down to me or what's bought. And so I have my little record player going. I get that started. And then the next thing I do is I'll sit down as I'm listening. I have my little notepad as I'm thinking about it, listening to the music. The music I found inspires me. Think of the notes of the music. If you're a musician, those notes mean something. A bass note, clef note, all those mean something.
Right.
So therefore, it made sense to me that if I'm listening to a song, that it's actually telling me that it wants a recipe. And so as I'm listening to different types of music, I'm hearing these different musical notes. And then in my mind comes about, I'm going to create this. That doesn't sound right. I said, but my brain is saying this is going to be good. So here's one of the ones I came up with. It's a cabbage burger. I'm like, how are you gonna make a cabbage burger that looks exactly like a burger and has the crunch and the texture when you bite into it that it's a burger and you can put it on the grill? I said,
is there any beef involved?
No beef, nothing. It's just cabbage.
A vegan burger. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So I listened to some music as I'm listening to different ones. The one that came to me was blues.
Creative
Blues
process.
music, instrumental.
Yeah.
Those notes equated the ingredients in my mind and the craft beer that I was going to use to go and make it. I said, okay, I got my little outline that I need. Now let's go to the kitchen. So then I go to the kitchen, I grab out the things that I need. And if I don't, I go to the store real quick and grab whatever else I need. And I come back and I go right into it. And I'm in there cooking away. And I'm using all the techniques I can use to see, okay, how's this working? So that one took me about 2 months. And I got it.
Wow. That process is something else, boy.
Yep, I got
you
it.
Say you coming in some Earth, Wind, and Fire playing.
On the grill. There you go. Man, this is good.
That's lettuce. I mean, that's cabbage. Hold on, bro.
There's something different about this. What'd you do, man? I said, do you like it? Oh, man, this is good. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I love this. And I really like the sauce, too, to go along with it. So that's the kind of the process of things of what I do. And what I created was it's called Recipes Inspired by Music.
I was just going to ask you, what inspires your cooking? Music.
Yeah, so
that's the creative process too.
Yeah, recipes inspired by music. I actually contacted some musicians and artists I know and said, hey, can I use some of your music? So they sent me their CDs and stuff, and I listened to them, and I created recipes for each one of those artists, and they posted it up on their stuff, and they couldn't believe it. And then they actually got the recipe because I gave it to them, that they can cook it for themselves inside their house. So I said, you know what? Music and food and relationships are all intertwined. Yes. And this is way more than just coming in there to just cook the food. This is actually part of what my tagline is, which is legacy of what most people in their lives are doing right now, is those three things. So that's one of the unique things that I do is the music. Then you saw some of the things I talked about, the musical notes, those representing in my mind seasonings that I need to use in order to bring together with the craft beer and wines and any other, because I cook with all of them, but I really like the craft beers as well. And I do that. And that creates the actual recipe.
I love this. I love the way that you're explaining this because it's different. You know, we're getting a master class on cooking, number one, all right, which is great. But the way that you're explaining, I mean, it's in your process, man, it's amazing because a lot of people couldn't do this. You know, I'm not saying that they couldn't do something like it, but they couldn't do what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's as we talked before the show as well. We want to, you know, it's an inspiring journey that you're telling us about, and we want people to learn from it, all right? Because the things that he's done, it wasn't given to him. It was something that he had to create, the creative mind, the creativity that he has, all right? And he said, you know, because everybody can cook, I guess, you know, something. You know, I can cook some water real well.
Did you hear that first part of that statement? I can burn.
No, I was going to say burn some food. I can cook some water real well, all right. But it takes something special and dedication and a passion to do what you do, brother. What is a legacy chef?
That started with when I was figuring out, you know, all these things that I was doing at the time. I didn't even have. I was just doing it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to have a message that explains in 2 words what I'm doing. And so I wrote like a whole paragraph of, you know, here's what I'm looking to do with all the things that I have. And I just kept going down and down. I said, well, what is it? And it said, well, you know, it's a family. It's where did you get it from? I said, I got it from my family. Well, then what's that? I said, well, it's from generation. Well, what is that? I was like, well, it's a legacy. It's been passed on to me from heaven above. And that's all my mom would say, you got this from heaven above, because that's where I got it from.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a legacy of a gift and talent that you have. Everybody's got one. So therefore, everyone's unique in what they do and how they do it. So that's why I chose legacy, because it's the uniqueness of each person. And I said, well, okay, that's the uniqueness of the person, but what kind of person are they? And then that's when the second word came, which was chef, which is you're unique, creative person. Because chef, you have to be able to create. You're not copying. So those were the two that came together. And I said, okay, legacy chef, that sounds cool. I ran it by some of my friends, relatives, and say, hey, here's the thing here's what I want to call what I'm doing. They said, that's dead on. Go, because you get a lot of advice on the things you do. A village, it's not never you do anything alone. So at least so that's what I found in life, and that's what I did. So that's what stuck. That's why I feel good about saying that I'm the legacy chef, is because I don't look at it as like I'm the legacy chef. I'm one of the legacy chefs.
Yeah,
everyone else is, because the meaning behind that. So and of course my friends like, yeah, now you can go out there and get some wardrobe, put that thing up there, slap that thing on. Everybody's got a friend like that, right?
you got all of that. You got all of that. Okay, you branded correctly. I'll put it like that. You brand. I'm a guy who knows how to brand, and you branded correctly, man. It makes total sense, and it's catchy. The legacy chef. I mean, you thought all of this out, bro. This is good. This is great.
Yeah, but one thing is like you can think about it, but you've got to own it, because that's one thing. Ideas are great, but you've got to take that responsibility behind it. So you got to own it. So you mentioned branding. Branding is not just the word; it's actually the action, which is you got to go trademark it. You actually have to trademark. Spend some money. You can do it yourself or get an attorney and get it on business paper. Trademark.
Hold on, let me give him a solo shot on this one. Just say this again, please.
Say it with your chest, bro.
You've got to go and trademark your idea.
Y'all
not
better listen.
Just brand it. You got to trademark it.
Y'all better listen, man.
All right.
You don't get this. You don't get this information for free, y'all. All right, all the time. People tell people about doing exactly what Vincent just said, and people blow it off. And then next thing you know, somebody else doing what you just created. Somebody's doing it, and you ain't getting a penny from it. All right, not a penny. And there's nothing.
That's true. Yep, a lot of people go out branding themselves. I'm gonna brand myself. I'm a brand, and they're putting the energy and effort and everything into it, but they don't own it.
Yep.
So they did the work and legwork. Somebody says that's a good idea. They actually come out and they trademark it. Yeah. They now own your idea.
Yeah, tell you to cease and desist.
And tell you to cease and desist, and you're like, I'll fight it. You will lose.
What are you fighting? You're gonna lose. You're gonna be wasting more money in court. You don't do it. I'm scared that, man, because I think somewhere like we're probably in the 817th show, I think it is, but somewhere back in the 200 show, we talked about this, and
sure did.
We tried to stress the fact that if you're branding, as you just said, branding is one thing. You got your logo and this and that and all of that's great, fine and good. People see it and you're putting it out there, okay?
But it ain't legal.
Why would you put it out there and you haven't trademarked it?
Oh my God!
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Well, I just as a chef, I want to express to some of my fellow chefs out there. Some of them they are branded, but they're not trademarked.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not going to because I don't need to. And where this becomes more important for you is if you are about to do something that's in lines in the business world, such as clothing, such as videos, such as TV shows, such as other types of things, even movies, or different things that will come about, that your brand has expanded so much that you're being offered this. And now you go out and you try to trademark and somebody else already did it.
That's crazy.
And now they own it. Now you got to go and pay them or ask them
Yeah.
to use your name
That's so
for
crazy
your
because I
brand
know some.
for what you need to do. And there are people out there that are looking for people who have nice big brands, and they go and they actually trademark.
That's the new scam.
I mean, and that's past the new scam. That used to be back in the day in the '90s when .com boom was hitting.
Yeah.
Shoot, you'll be surprised how many people like Kraft cheese had to do something totally different in they .com because somebody had already took Kraft, trademarked it, and they can't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Their
Yep.
own name, or their own .com. A lot. These guys are making millions off
Protect
going.
yourself.
Yeah,
Protect yourself, as the Legacy Chef
millions.
Vincent Moore just said. We're
.com.
talking, by the way. I'm sorry, Mo. We're talking with.
Oh
the
no, I'm
Legacy Chef.
listening because to me, I mean, men of wisdom, I'd love to hear that.
But this is about you. You know, we get sidetracked a lot.
Well,
on
you know how you know me. That's my natural thing. I love to hear great advice.
But I want to know though, man. You mentioned shrimp and grits with the craft beer and
Yes.
the cabbage burger.
Yes.
What else do you? What other kind of dishes do you have?
Oh,
Let's go.
okay.
I don't care. Let's go.
Sound like you like that. Go ahead.
All right, now there are a lot of them that I've done. I've done. I did the whole version of a cream ale style creme brulee. So it's made with the cream ale. And on that, I've also done multiple sauces, such as the barbecue sauces. I've used just the simple ingredients that are in a shelf that you have at your home. So you have. I've done the. I've done a Alfredo sauce.
Oh, good.
Without cheese.
How do you do that, bro?
Yes, they have plant-based cheeses.
Oh man!
And it comes out good.
And it comes out good.
See, that's what we got to make a trip down there. And that's
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So this is a whole other world. So that opens up the pizzas.
Leaving out the day during all the dairy and stuff has got to go. Can't do it.
I've done from the scratch. I've made. Here's one I've done for breakfast, and it was inspired by a friend whose son was in the hospital, and I wanted to encourage her son, and so I made from scratch a gluten-free waffle, but the Belgian style waffle, but it was stuffed on the inside with avocado, key lime cream on the inside
of the waffle.
Inside the waffle, you didn't know.
Come on, bro.
You can actually make, and I said, okay, I did it, but now I want to do it so anyone can do it. If they have a waffle maker at home, all they got to do is follow these directions here, and they can just do it, and then pop, and when they pull it out, it looks just like the waffle on the outside. You can't see the cream on the inside at all.
So let me ask a question, bro.
So when you cut into it, there it is. So I have 4 other recipes that I'm working through with that same different formula with all natural fruits, all natural flavors. And by the way, that's cooked with craft beer too.
Let's go.
So all of that, and it's phenomenal. So that was one of the kind of creative things that I do, and just creating a whole new thing. So that's one. There's the different waterless cabbage, making cabbage without water, and the seasoning of that, and being able to add all the different types of vegetables in it to where it tastes like it has meat in it, but it doesn't. And in the waterless cabbage, I was on a TV show on that one. I cooked for the producer and his camera crew afterwards, and served all them on set. And they could not believe it. They're like, I cannot believe this is that you cooked this with no water, and everything was all in one pot.
Wow.
So those are the kinds of things that's one of my recipes that I got. So there's so many different things that I'm working with and working on. And sometimes I actually have to grab my own book and say, oh, here's what I've done. Because once I do it, I write it, I put it down, and I move on to the next thing. And then if I need to come back to it, All I need to do is just look real quick. Okay, I remember what I did, and then I'll go and I'll just do it.
Wow, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Mo, you had a question?
Well, I was just going to ask, how do you do this with waterless, and is it the cabbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cabbage. The
And
cabbage. No water.
it's good for people that are have diabetic diets and stuff
Yes.
like that. I was
Yeah.
just sitting there thinking, do you have a book of recipes?
That is something that I'm working on right now, because when I was told back then, I'm like, I just have my notepad of all the stuff in it, and I've done the videos, and I have my little spreadsheets that I have in my Word documents and things like that. I said, but I didn't really go and just put it together, say I'm going to do a book, and because there's a lot of chefs out there that have that, and I felt that what I wanted to be able to do was people to see what I do. So I actually film it in my kitchen, me making it and doing it, and with my music in the background, having fun just like they would be. And I'm like, okay, here's what you got, and here's the whole outline of the recipes. And now that you saw what I did, now you have this here as well. You can just go and make it in your kitchen too as well.
I got an awesome idea, bro. I'll tell you about once we get on the backside of the show.
Sure.
Awesome idea.
Nice. Okay, you better jot that down, because are you sure you're going?
What do you think I've been doing? Writing?
Okay.
Greg caught me in the middle of writing.
Man, I hate the fact that this is only an hour.
Yeah.
Even though I could make it go longer than an hour, but we try to stay consistent. But so, do you just look at a food and say, "I want to try something with this," or "I want to try something with that"?
It's sometimes that might happen. If I see something, like when I was looking at the waffle, and I'm like, okay, is that it? Is that? I said, why? I see people put stuff over top of it. I was like, how come no one's, making it with stuffed with anything inside? And I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to make it healthy. So as you notice, what I said was that it was avocado, key lime, and cream. And so that cream that was in there, that's not dairy. What I'm utilizing in that is not a dairy product, because you have people who are allergic to dairy.
Right.
So everything that's in there, it's all 100% organic, because you can make it from scratch. It doesn't take, I'm like, I want to show how easy it is just to make this without having to do all this extra stuff. So I went through the process of what it is you all need, and then I narrowed it down, and then I went back and said, okay, if I'm somebody who's learning for the first time and want to come here and do this, what do I need to do? Okay, let's keep it simple. And I just do this, and I said, that's what you need to do, and I show those things on my video, and then that's what they see. And of course, if you're a chef, then you can create and do more stuff with it, because you got the guideline to do it. Any good idea is never just yours. The biggest compliment anybody can do is they're going to copy it. You guarantee if it's a good thing, they're going to copy it. So go ahead and be the one with the guideline, with the realization that this is where it came from. And that's the other part too. Make certain you copyright your recipes.
That was another question. That was another question. Because I'm quite sure you have hundreds of recipes right now, right? Are every one of those copywritten, trademark?
Not every one of them, because I'm just like many of the other people. Is like, you just do it, and then wait a minute, I need to go and do this.
So which ones?
So I have a lot of them that haven't been, and then I have some that I'm just going back in the process and just doing it, and if somebody else came up with that and did that, well, then kudos to them. They go do their thing. But I got so many things that I can continue to create. I'm not going to be trying to fight over some one thing that was out there. If the person takes that, they're not really in a sense, they're going to come into a roadblock in life, because if they don't create themselves and they take from others, they're only going to go so far.
Man, I was just going to ask you for the ones that, give me one that you didn't trademark it, and I was going to try to do it, but I guess now that you didn't shame me, I won't.
Well,
I will
one
try
thing I
that.
used to tell artists is this: you're an artist. You're able to create. If you get stuck trying to sue somebody about one or two little things that you had going on out there, you're diverting from your purpose. Keep going, because you know that person right there gonna run into a roadblock. You're an artist. You can create whatever the hell you want to, whenever the hell you want to do it. Don't get stuck on that BS. You know that's what killed the music business. Think about
Yeah.
it. We got artists focusing on how many people done sampled their stuff, instead of focusing on what they do. You know what I'm saying? They trying to sue somebody, get money for nothing, basically.
So look, we've had a great. I don't call this an interview. I don't even call this a conversation. This has been a master class with
Yeah.
the Legacy Chef Vincent Moore.
Thank you.
His website is running below. It's tastethecraft.net. And if you go to tastethecraft.net, you do a lot of different things. There's theater and events. There's comedy. There's sending a vibe. I mean, you're into all of this.
Yeah.
And you're giving us basically what you say. It's a cultural sensation.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's just so many people are so well in their talents and what they do. So if you come to the website, it's going to say on there craft beer entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I started, I was cooking with craft beer, and I said it's just not just a cooking site. This is an entertainment
Yeah.
area. This is an area that people can come to see things that are going to pique their own talents, and that creates entertainment. It creates great content of things that people want to see. So whether the things that you see on there, are the things that I love. You'll see music, you'll see comedy, you'll see events and different things that are community based, and then legendary based on different things of what people are doing. So that allows for that. And then you have also the video that there's a 48-hour trial free that's on there. So you can actually go on there, and it's I believe on that one, it's a free video. I believe it's Texas style French toast. That's on that one. So you can get that for free for 48 hours. So as soon as you sign on there, there's no cost to you. Within 48 hours, you can get the video of me cooking, see me. It's on 4K HD, so you can watch on your smart TV too as well. And it'll have the sounds, maybe have a little music on there. I can't remember on that one, but it might. But mainly it's the cooking of that, and you can see how that's done. Give you some ideas of what you can do to really elevate your French toast in a way that it just melts in your mouth and just tastes so wonderful. And then also you'll get the recipe that you can download, and then you can just have that for yourself. I give that to everyone for free just so they can see what it is that I do. I also have some articles out there for me as well. New York Weekly that just did some stuff for me where I have a barbecue recipe that's out there for free, and the barbecue sauce is for free as well too, that you can make and be the star in your own kitchen and with your buddies and friends when you do that too as well. So yeah, I heard you guys say you want to do some barbecue. You guys I might have to send you that link so you can go ahead and just try that one. It's all made with seafood.
You're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, it's a kebab, but it's a seafood kebab.
Stop.
And then you put the sauce on top of that, and that's one that's inspired by a musical artist out of London.
Okay.
A sister that originally lived in California, and she moved out to London, and she's doing some great things out there. So her song is what inspired that recipe. And so there's a story that you can see behind all that as well. So there's so many things that connect from the main website.
I'm gonna tell you, Legacy Chef.
Man,
I'm gonna be like, bruh, man, from the 5th floor.
Come knocking at your door, Thomas.
Over there by your house, man. I gotta some of this. You gotta bring that to the Midwest, man.
Yeah, some kind of way.
Absolutely.
Just the place.
I'm working on something right now. with one of the major jazz stations. We're looking on doing something. So hint, hint, it may be in the Detroit area.
Detroit.
You already know. But let me say this, man. I'm so amazed, because I'm used to the normal stuff. You go to these restaurants, you see all of this. Like if you go to the hibachi place and they chop it up, and throwing knives up and all. Okay, real fun.
Mm-hmm.
Give me my food, okay? Quit playing with my food.
Yeah.
You create culinary delights, right? I don't have to read a card. There's a culinary delights, and you do it with foods that we normally eat just bland. You put something into it and make it just an experience for the palate. That's hey, bro. I'm telling you, whatever we could do here at Dope Living TV Live to promote and push you, man. We don't need anything from it. We just happy that you're doing it.
Yeah, we do. We need a plate.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Are you going to be in the Phoenix area?
We can make it to the Phoenix area. I'm flexible. I can go anywhere I want. We can go to the Phoenix area. But is there anything, man, before we get out of here, man, anything you want to tell the audience, man, tell the people about you, the Legacy Chef, and your process, not your process, your journey?
Well, first, I would like to just thank everyone. Those of you who are listening right now, hopefully that you're inspired. There's some people out there who've been cooking for so many years, and this is your passion. These are the things that it's part of your family legacy, the things that you're doing, and you want to do a lot of things in your local community, and you're wondering, how can you do it? And feel free. Nothing is just one person's. You can also make your own, home videos. You can also make these different things, but most importantly is find out what your main talent is and how you like to do it, and your reason behind why you want to do what you're doing. Those things are going to drive you forward in everything that you do. For me, it's my faith, it's my family, as well as the inspiring of what that I can leave behind for others. And so those are the three things that I would say that everyone has on their heart. So whatever you do, put them in those three categories and then go for it. And if it doesn't seem that the door opens for you the first time, that's okay.
Exactly.
Keep on going, because it will. And those are the things that continue to happen for us, because we will have things that happen in our lives that gives us hiccups along the road. But just keep on going and you will get there.
Yes, sir. You're living proof of that. Most. Want to say something?
Man, I see that that you took your destiny and grabbed it and ran with it, bro. Legacy is a very good success for you. I mean, again, like we always say here on Dope Living TV, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. And you seem like you really love what you're doing. But I got another idea for you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget.
And man, look, I'm telling you, shout out number one. We got to do this. Shout out to his publicist, Miss Desiree.
Yes.
Shout her out, man. She's doing a great job, and I'm so glad that I was able to link up with her to get some of her people on this show so that they can inspire others. All right, you've done a huge inspirational journey you have, man. Go ahead.
Well, yes, I wanted to, Miss Desiree Benson, she's amazing. There are always people, you can never get somewhere all by yourself. Right. And she was that person. She is that person that, for not just me, but for so many other people. But I just wanted to thank her personally for all the things that she does and continues to do. Not just as my publicist, who's double award winning. She is just totally amazing, but the things that she really inspires. And that's a great thing when you have brother and sisterhood coming together and working together to create such wonderful things,
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Exactly. So I thank you, Miss Desiree, always will. You know, I'm your biggest fan, and I'm also so glad to be working with you too.
We have to fight over that biggest fan thing, because as I listen to her and as we communicate and talk, I'm a big fan. I have my own publicist, but I'm a big fan. Okay, she's doing her thing out there, and man, I know my publicist is gonna get mad at me for all of that adulation.
Better watch it. You might show up there.
It is what it is. I give credit where credit due. You can't. You know, we got to give everybody their flowers while they're here. All right, Desiree, you're such a fantastic person. Thank you for connecting, and we're locked. Okay, and Vince, the legacy stuff, whatever. Like I said, you got whatever you need for us to push for you. Just send it to us. We got you. Most definitely, and you're welcome to come back to the show anytime you want.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are incredible. I love what you guys are doing. And I'm gonna go back and see all the other episodes too. That might take me a while.
Just start from this year and work your way up. Okay?
Yeah.
We've had some fantastic guests, but man, you are one of the most fantastic that we've had, man. So we learned some. It's not often. We haven't had a master class in a minute, bro.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but we got a master class tonight. Plus, we learned about creating a veritable party in your mouth with culinary delights. Right? From
Stop
it.
You
know, I got all those words, man. You know, I got these crooked teeth for nothing. Okay. These, man, look. Go to the website, everybody. Tastethecraft.net. You'll see everything that this man does and more. All right. He's on Facebook. Connect with him. He may not answer you, okay, but don't be mad. All right. Go to the website. Check it out. Okay. Tastethecraft.net. This is the Legacy Chef, Mr. Vincent Moore. Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Thank y'all.
We will see you guys next week. All right. Until then, man. And I forgot to tell you, Vince, you got me and Mo. The ladies that come on the show too, they would have been something else, man. It would have been something else.
Yeah. I got some amazing recipes for the ladies too.
Man. Hey, make sure there's one on here.
Come back home.
Make sure you charge Marcella for everything that you send. Charge her. And if a credit card don't work, tell her to get the other one. Tell her to get the other one. And if that one don't work, tell her to do something. Hey, man, we 3 minutes over, but I don't care, okay? Because Marcy, this man can cook. And he takes, I'm saying it, Mo, look, he takes food. He'll take an apple and change it into something, okay? Come on.
Man, I'm telling you, he got his own lane with that craft beer. Dude, that right there is.
Yeah.
I mean, you always had your little beer barbecue stuff going, like you said. Somebody take a beer,
pour it over
a can of chicken booty or something like that, turn over and put it on the grill. Yeah, I want to check out what you're doing with that craft beer. A good biscuit on some seafood or something. Ooh,
we're going too long, man. Vince, if you don't mind holding on for a second.
I got something
to get out here, okay? This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys next week, all right?
Peace.